I also want to wrap this up with talking about the norms and expectations. Really clear what you get from us and what we need from you for this to be successful. So your agent will go through more of this specifically with you, but I want to give you kind of at a high level what you get when you work with us. The first, when you as a client hire us to represent you to buy your home, is that someone from the team is going to respond to you. If that's ever not happening, you're going to have leadership's contact information directly. Please reach out to us and let us know. This market moves at the speed of business, and that means that when you want something, we never want the reason for you not getting a home or missing out on an opportunity to be that we didn't respond. That's not how we work. That's not one of our core business principles. So just know that speed of response is really important, just so we can get you the information you need to make a decision. We're always going to be honest with you. Our team would not have grown to where it is or built the referral business we've built without being anchored in honesty, transparency, and hopefully earning your trust. We want to work with you and your community for more than just one transaction. So through that lens, why would we be pushing you to something that's either unsustainable, not good for you, or put you in a bad situation? If we think something is a bad deal or doesn't make sense for you, we'll tell you that. And if you ever have any concerns about honesty or transparency, again, that's something you come right back to leadership with, but that's a core tenet and core principle for our team. The next thing we want you to know in terms of an expectation of what you get from us is that we will protect and respect your confidential information. There's a lot of sensitive details that you're going to be sharing with the lenders and that we will understand or at least talk about verbally. Something to keep in mind is that we never, as a team, need your banking information, your private information. We're never going to ask you to send a wire or money to us. So if you ever get communication by email or something that feels like it's asking a question you're not sure of, always pick up the phone, always call your direct agent or call leadership. The lenders who pre-approve you are going to have secure and unique portals for submitting your personal confidential information. So unless you're giving that information to your lender or to the title company at the end, nobody on our team should be asking for it. And if they are, always double check that with a second step verification of calling or texting us to make sure that it's right. But we take your information protection as a top priority, and we're always going to protect and respect your confidential information. The next piece to keep in mind is that we're never going to compromise your negotiating position. When you hire us, that's called a fiduciary relationship. Executing the buyer agency agreement requires that us as realtors, who are bound by the Code of Ethics and members of the National Association of Realtors, have to look out for your best financial interest over our own. So if there is an opportunity that we could make more money, but it could possibly harm you or be a detriment to you, that's something that we'd have to disclose or talk with you about in advance. We're not going to come to this from trying to collect more information to use against you. It's us on one team against the other side. And if you ever have questions or concerns about that, again, that's a conversation directly with your agent or directly with team leadership, because we want to be on the same team working together to get you the house that you want. We're always going to respect and be considerate of your time. We really appreciate you taking a little bit of time to look at this information in advance so that we can be as efficient as possible when we actually meet and complete your full consultation. But just know that it's our goal to always respect and be considerate of your time as a consumer, because time is money. We promise to tell you what you need to hear and maybe not what you want to hear. This goes back to that honesty factor from earlier, where it doesn't help anybody if we're mismanaging expectations, or that if there isn't crystal clarity about what's expected, who does it, and when it happens. So just know that working with Coalition Properties means that you're going to get the honest answer all the time, even if it's not the answer you want to hear. And then at the end of it, what we need from you is to work with us, be on the team, sign that buyer agency, take our advice, be collaborative, be open-minded, be listening to us so that we can reciprocate that, right? That it can be a working relationship in the highest way possible. And for us, that means we're going to give you a top-notch experience and build a relationship for life. Now let's talk about a few of the things that we need from you in order to make this work. Look at that, there's only 4, a lot less that we need from you than you get from us. The first is that we require that you speak with at least one of our preferred lenders before we go out and look at homes. And this is important because the lenders that we've built relationships with, we know can perform in the market. Anybody can show you a quicker or lower quote online. It's kind of like shopping for car insurance or any other service, right? With a quick answer without all the context and information, anybody can tell you that it'll be cheaper. The question is, how does that person perform in the market? And what competitive advantage does that specific lender, loan officer, bank actually give you in the eyes of the seller? So by you checking with at least one of our preferred lenders, that does one of 2 things. It shows you that the numbers you're getting from somebody else are actually the best. And hopefully the reputation and execution of that other bank is good as well. It also may show you that our bank and our lenders can give you a better rate and give you a better option. So by comparing with at least one of our preferred lenders, it either validates that who you've got is legit or shows you that who we're working with and who we recommend can do better for you. So everybody wins. We ask that you give a minimum of 24 hours before we go see properties. And this is important just because beyond COVID and making sure we have confirmed appointments, we want to make sure that we can collect the proper information so that when we show you the home, we know what you need to do next. Because there's nothing worse than rushing to see a home, loving it, and not having an answer on what the next steps are. So having that 24 hours lead time is really important and really crucial for us to give you the best service possible. We ask you, as a final step, to let us know if there are any changes to your search, timeline, or situation. This is important because we're going to be doing this, right? I've been in the business now going on 11 years. Our team's been up and functioning for 3 years. But it is our intention to build an organization that will be here for a while. So if you're not ready to complete this process right now, if you get started, things change, let us know. We never want to be ones that are bugging you or pushing you to something you're either not able to do or don't want to do anymore. So let's be on the same team. Just be honest with us. And the last thing that we ask of you is that you execute that buyer agency agreement before we officially go look at properties. As I talked about in one of the other slides through the actual flow chart, executing the buyer agency agreement and officially hiring us is a commitment. It doesn't bind you to pay us because the seller pays us at closing, but it does confirm that we have that agency relationship in place and that we're both committed to working towards your goal of home ownership. If it's not working, you're not bound to work with us forever. But that initial commitment is important so that we know the time, effort, energy, and thought that we're putting into working with you is reciprocated on your side by being focused to and committed to the process. If you got any questions about these steps, these norms, expectations, or commitments, make sure you reach out to your coalition agent or to one of the leadership members directly. Thanks for your time.